Was staying on judicial matters, the Supreme Court has dismissed the suit instituted by 16 states against the Attorney General of the Federation, challenging the constitutionality of the Act establishing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the ICPC, as well as the powers of the NFIU. The court held that the EFCC Act is not a treaty but a convention that does not need the ratification of the Houses of Assembly. Lesinaria reports.
The plaintiffs had argued that the Supreme Court had in a previous decision held that it was a UN Convention against corruption that was reduced into the EFCC Establishment Act, and in enacting this law in 2004, Section 12 of the Constitution was not followed. Section 12 of the Constitution necessitated the majority of states' Houses of Assembly agreeing to bring the convention in before passing the EFCC Act, and others, which was allegedly never done. Delivering judgment, Justice Tajudeen Abbas, who led a 7-member panel of justices, read that the EFCC Act, which is not a treaty but a convention, does not need the ratification of the Houses of Assembly. A convention could have been ratified by member states, and the National Assembly can make laws from it, which will be binding in all states in Nigeria, as it is the case of the EFCC Establishment Act. It states that in a country like Nigeria, federating units do not have absolute powers, while the NFIU guideline is to present a benchmark and not to control the funds. Where an act of law is made by the National Assembly, like the NFIU and its guidelines, it is binding on all. Any other has been competently enacted by the National Assembly cannot be inconsistent. Where the National Assembly has enacted several laws on corruption, money laundering, etc., no state has the right to make law to compete with it. The investigative powers of the EFCC cannot be said to be in conflict with the legislative powers of the State Assembly. The court ruled that the NFIU guideline had not contravened the provisions of the Constitution to manage the funds of their state and resolve the issues against the plaintiff. All other justices agreed with the lead judgment, saying all the issues raised in the suit had no merit and are accordingly dismissed. The court had earlier dismissed all objections of the federal government to the suit filed by the states. The Supreme Court dismissed the suit in its entirety and resolved the case against the plaintiffs.
What the Supreme Court has done in essence today is to enhance the powers of the anti-corruption agencies and to validate their activities, and to say that within our jurisdiction, financial crimes and all manner of corruption-related offences will not be tolerated.
Kogi State was the original plaintiff in the suit, after which other states joined. This matter also caused trouble for some states, including Benue State, where the governor suspended the Attorney General for joining the suit without his consent. Lesinaria, TVC News, Abuja.
President Kashim Shettima and Speaker of the House of Representatives Abbas Tajudeen are among those invited to the 2024 edition of the Conference to Empower Young Voices and Build a Legacy for Sustainable Development. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
Children of Africa Leadership and Values Development Initiative, CALDEV, says its target is to shoot down the number of out-of-school children and enhance inclusion. The non-governmental organization is a private initiative of the House of Reps Chairman, Public Accounts Committee, Bamidele Salam. In a matter of days, CALDEV will be hosting a 5-day National Children Leadership Conference. CALDEV says it is partnering with state houses of assembly to create access to education for the more than 20 million out-of-school children in the country.
Almost half of the funds that the UBEC has that is meant to be accessed by states are not being accessed because many states of the Federation are refusing to pay their counterpart funding that will make them be able to access these funds that they can use to build schools, employ teachers, train teachers.
The theme for this year's conference is Empowering Young Voices, Building a Legacy for Sustainable Development. CALDEV emphasizes youth engagement, inclusion, and socio-economic development.
Advocating for children's rights, empowerment, as well as deepening engagement with Nigerian children on issues that affect them. And of course, all issues affect children because they are not only the future, they are also the present of every country.
Children will be selected to engage in a more parliamentary section, more like deepening their interest and their participation in the legislative governance process in Nigeria.
As part of activities lined up, CALDEF says it will confer award on some outstanding children tagged early achievers. Children in this category include Achezi Akwashiki, the 10-year-old published author and poet, founder of Book Bodies, internationally recognized education and child care advocates. Also included is Sheung Samuel, 16-year-old JS3 student of the junior secondary school Kadokuchi in Abuja. He makes electric toy cars with improvised materials. He also produces rechargeable lights, hand fans, and radio. Early Achievers Award will also be given to Maxwell Munachinzo, an SS3 student of Early Spring College in Lagos. He is an artificial intelligence specialist and a general tech developer. Joke Adsa, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's turn attention now to Borno State, where about 3,000 victims of the Maiduguri flood disaster have benefited from non-food items to help them recover from their loss, courtesy of the State's Center for Advocacy, Transparency and Accountability Initiative. This is coming weeks after waters from collapsed Alau Dam washed away thousands of homes and businesses in the Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. TVC News senior reporter Jesse Tafida has details.
Victims of the Maiduguri flood disaster. Most of them lost almost all they've got. As things gradually return to normal, many struggle to recover from their losses. And today, help has come their way. Non-food items like blankets, kitchen utensils, mats, among others, are items brought to them by the Center for Advocacy, Transparency and Accountability Initiative, Katai.
From this intervention, as you know, we have been supporting, even with multipurpose cash assistance. We have reached on this very project, we have reached 2,000 beneficiaries, providing them with 100,000 naira each. This is in the mean to see that these affected communities build back better, get and have access to certain kind of support within their communities. All of these are victims of this flooding, and as they are returning back, so the need for them to have some of these NFI kits and food items to get them back better in their communities. So all of these are support that we are doing in complement to the effort of the government.
Additionally, the state now has a complaint desk run by the Borno State Flood Relief Disbursement Committee. Flood victims will now have a platform to express their worries, especially about the relief effort and how to get further help.
All complaints are being received, through the Bulamas. You can write and the committee will reach out to you. So it is our belief that at the end of the day, we will not leave anybody behind. And we are still calling on other partners to further, support these people. A lot still needs to be done.
The flood victims appreciated the state government and Katai for their prompt assistance. They, however, desire a more all-encompassing assistance to help them pick up the pieces of their lives after the flood disaster. Jesse Tafida, TVC News, Maiduguri.